What, is this already recording?
It's recording right now.
Even as is this going to be white? This background? It's going to be like that?
It's green screen.
But look at the white in that.
Oh, I'll zoom in a little bit.
I think keep that in there.
All right, so we're here with Sodapops TV. I'm Chad Kresser. This is Aiden Kresser. And we have just arrived back at the studio from watching the new Batman film. So first we are going to talk without spoilers, and we will give you the spoiler alert. So,
where was Jim in this one?
Jim is not
him.
here. Jim's been MIA for a while. Jim and Runkle been gone. I don't know what happened to him. So, what's your initial reaction? What's your initial reaction without spoilers?
I liked it. What do you mean?
Liked?
I think it's better than Dark Knight. I think it's the best Batman movie there is. Out of all of them.
I'm surprised to say that. I agree with you. It was definitely, I would even say definitely.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also very different.
I don't think that matters. I think you gotta look at it. It's a Batman movie. Okay?
It's a Batman movie.
They're all categorized that way.
Yes, but I think Batman's the only thing that's holding this comparable to the Christian Bale, comparable to the Michael Keaton, comparable to the Adam
Okay, get
West.
those other ones out of there. They're not in this. They weren't in the conversation with the Dark Knight trilogy. You know what I'm saying?
The
Once
Michael
those
Keaton?
came out, yeah.
Well, at the time, that was...
At the time, that was like in the 80s. I'm talking about once the Dark Knight trilogy came out.
But I would say this movie is like Christian Bale was compared to like Batman Forever. The difference in the tone.
Oh.
I don't think you can even...
But it's still just Batman.
Yeah, it's Batman, but I would say this movie was closer to Seven or Silence of the Lambs or Fight Club.
Oh, for sure. It's
than to the Christian Bale Batmans.
It's the Zodiac, the Zodiac Killer. That's what the Riddler is.
Yes, this movie
like
is...
even his design is that.
Yeah, you're right, and it was cool. But you know what I mean? This movie is closer to the Zodiac Killer or Seven or Silence of the Lamb than it is to the Dark Knight.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I think when you see it, you'll know.
But what I'm saying at the end of the day is, they're all Batman movies.
Yes. So
it would have to be, what is the best Batman movie? And I feel like it's this one because the way it depicts Batman.
Yes.
As a character is the best in this one.
I would agree with that. Yes. And because this one really shows the detective side. It's a detective movie.
Yeah.
You could have took Batman out, like I said, and had Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman in that role.
And Commissioner Gordon.
Instead of him and Commissioner Gordon, because it was like a police detective crime thriller. Yeah. But you get Batman in it kicking butt and taking names at different parts too. So, Riddler.
That was impressive. It was impressive for the Riddler.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, he was humping the air. It was Jim Carrey humping the air in a green onesie. Now,
right. You're not
all of a sudden,
you're not getting that. I have to say they took the page out of sort of Marvel's book where they really redid the guy throughout what they had before. The only semblance of the old Riddler is that he has like dark green.
He is though. He's that guy is he the actor in this one that plays the Riddler? Have you ever seen Prisoners? The one with Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, the kids go missing.
Oh yeah.
Is that the same? You know what I'm talking about? That guy.
Oh yeah.
Because he has that too. That little. I don't know if it's a
kind of like the.
It's like a.
What's the guy from Christmas Story?
What?
Ralphie sort of has a grown-up Ralphie look from Christmas Story.
That's not what I was thinking. He's a little.
Yeah.
Mentally, he has a little.
Something wrong with him.
Yeah, and I think it's the same guy. I think it's the same actor.
I think you might be right. If we had a guy on a laptop
just
sitting right there, we would just say pull that up and see
what the name is. Yeah, but we don't have that.
We don't have that guy.
We can't afford that.
We couldn't afford to go to the movie tonight.
Is a basement.
I tell you,
it's a half run down basement.
I had to get his Batman cup, which we should have on the set here. A Batman cup, a large Coke and a popcorn was $25 and some cents. I don't know. The popcorn I think was 11 or maybe 9. So I don't know where the other.
They jacked the prices up
because
of this movie. Because when we went the other times, it was not that expensive.
No, I was quite shocked when she said 25 something. Because usually I get a large popcorn and a Coke and it's like $15. So that cup must have been like 10 or 12. Worth it. He gave me $5.
Cool cup. Cool cup.
That will cover it. All right, so do you want to get into spoilers here?
We're just going right into it?
I don't
feel
know.
like there's
What else?
one more thing without
right.
spoilers.
All right.
Was Batman and Catwoman's relationship. I think they did that perfectly. Catwoman was in the movie. She was the girl the whole time.
Wait, was this the one?
She was the girl.
Was this the one with the mask at the beginning in the bus?
What are you talking about?
Inside joke. He's always riding me on something.
But no, I feel like
it was about like
because in The Dark Knight Rises, when they had Catwoman, to bring it back to something like that to compare what's comparable. Batman and Catwoman's relationship, it was lackluster in Dark Knight Rises. There was like one scene where
I would say this would be very similar to that.
No, I don't think you've seen The Dark Knight Rises in a while.
I've seen it.
But you haven't seen it in a while. I think you're confused. You're old and confused because this is so much.
Catwoman in that movie. Naive.
Catwoman in that movie. The relationship in The Dark Knight Rises was just. I wasn't buying into it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was kind of like this, where they really don't have a relationship, so to speak. They're just.
But I bought into their chemistry more.
In this one, they're just helping each other because they kind of have a common enemy.
See, I bought into that.
What was her deal in Dark Knight Rises? Why was she there?
She was trying to steal. She wanted to.
She broke into his house.
To leave.
She broke into his house
because she needed his fingerprints, and she actually turned him over to Bane.
Yeah, she's
at one point
backstabber. You'll get that from women, I guess.
From time to time.
From time to time. All right. Let's talk about the runtime. It's 3 hours, solid 3 hours.
But that's where all movies are going.
That is where all movies are going. We will talk about they could have left 5 minutes off at the end. We'll get to that for the spoiler section. But I don't think it felt like 3 hours.
No, I mean I was very.
Like at one point, I looked at my phone because I was like, man, this seems like it might be having to get towards resolution here. Because it's really, to me, there was kind of two things going on. They had this whole mob arc. This is not really a spoiler, but then they had to finish the Riddler arc. And it was really kind of, you really could have had 2 movies in there. So I kind of looked at my phone, and it was only 7:30 for a 6:30 or 6 o'clock starting movie, so we still had an hour and a half to go. But that second hour and a half didn't seem like an hour and a half.
No.
I don't know if the first hour and a half did either.
Yeah, but I think that's where they're all going. Dune was 2.5 hours. Yeah. Spider-Man was somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was over 2, but it doesn't feel like it. So if it doesn't feel like it, then you're entertained. And
I was entertained.
I was entertained. The other thing, which you talked about, not a spoiler, but Batman is in this movie
the whole time.
He is Batman the whole time. And one of my biggest complaints, even when it first came out about the 1989 Batman, was there was not enough Batman. I always felt those movies, that was a Joker movie where they had Batman in there. And I thought the second one was a Penguin movie and they stuck Batman in there. There was never enough Batman. And that bugged me even in 1989 when I was a wee lad. Maybe not a wee lad. but that was one of my pet peeves of that movie. But this movie, he is Batman. Opening scene.
He's Batman. He's not Bruce Wayne.
Right.
It's not a split between the two guys. It's just Batman.
Yeah. Because he's in detective mode with Commissioner Gordon the whole way, and that's why I say it's almost like a cop movie, and they're the two cops going from spot to spot.
What I also liked was how much better he was, how much smarter he was than everyone else. You know what I'm saying? He kind of, we're at that opening scene, and he said, oh, I don't know, that's not really a spoiler, but he's like, well, this is how that happened, and they're like just looking at how do you know all this, and then he finds the next piece of the clue, and he's the one solving the riddles,
right. Not Alfred,
Commissioner Gordon.
Alfred does help him out a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely the detective Batman, which we never really have seen, and they do a good job of it. All right, so you spoiler alert?
Yeah.
All right, spoiler alert. Turn off your television, both of you people that are watching that haven't seen this movie yet. If you do not
two
want-
of you.
all two of you hopefully have 2 subscribers. So where do we want to start? We want to start with the big drawback, or we just want to start with through the plot a little bit?
I said start with the drawback.
All right, let's just get it out in the open. This was right away.
This was the one mistake I feel
One
like in the
mistake
movie
they
that was.
made.
And there's gonna be people that are like, "No, that's so cool."
Right.
No, it's not.
It's
okay,
not. It's
let's
not
just
cool.
say it. And no one else is saying it, so we have to say it in our basement, like 2 people with tinfoil hats on, talking about who's gonna kill the president next.
Chris Robinson, that's you.
Chris Rob.
You'll know later
Everybody,
on.
I'm sick and tired of it. The Joker, he's overdone.
He's
and that's
overdone.
where we're going.
He's overdone. That is where we're going. First of all, the whole tone of this movie was awesome. Like I said, it was like Seven. It was dark the whole time. They were working at night the whole time. It was like Seven or Silence of the Lamb, and there was a little Fight Club thrown in there at the end, which we'll get to. And then all of a sudden,
They shoehorn. I'm telling you, it has to be the studio being like,
I will
can
have to
you
give. Is
put
it Matt Reeves, the
Joker-
director,
Yeah.
and the writer? I believe they put a gun to his head and made him shoot this scene.
You know how?
Perhaps they even didn't. He didn't even shoot the scene. They shot it without him and
then just
tacked
cut it
on
in.
and cut it in without him even knowing.
They had to have. Because this is the same guy. You know Matt Reeves? This is a little trivia for you.
I
I
might
thought we were
know.
going to save trivia for the end.
I
Well, it's
was gonna
not
have
trivia.
trivia.
I think it's just a fact.
All right, it's a fact.
I don't really know what trivia is. But anyways, Matt Reeves made them drive the Batmobile through that explosion when he's chasing the Penguin. That's real. That's not CGI.
Oh, all right. So yeah, thumbs up to Matt Reeves. Practical effects.
And he
so
did a lot of practical effects in this one.
Yeah, I didn't really. There was no point where and usually
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
I go, okay, that was CGI. Why'd you do
Watching
that?
all the
That was
80s
stupid.
movies when they had to make everything.
Yeah.
And they used like we'll get to it. The Joker.
Yeah,
They
let's stay on
they
task.
shoehorned him in there.
So, and it was almost like an after credit scene, which doesn't work with this movie because, like I said, it's like Seven, Silence of the Lambs, and you want to put an after credit scene, but except they didn't. The only problem was they didn't even go after the credits. They just
It's just in there, and then there's like another 7-10 minutes.
here I'm gonna put this turd all of a sudden
And it's
right
just-
in the middle of this art form.
And here's the problem with it. Again, we have to be the ones to say it in our basement.
I don't think we fully explained Joker is overdone. Okay, right now there's like 3 Jokers,
There's been 5 Jokers in my lifetime.
and he's only like 18.
Exactly.
And
There's
let's not
Heath
even.
Ledger.
Is it even your lifetime?
What do you mean?
Let's just say like in the last 5 years.
Well, no, there's not 5 in the last 5. There's 3. Okay, here's my thing. I can't. I don't even know where to start because it's so. Let's just start. Let's just start here.
All right.
Let's just start with
where
the
do you
fact that
wanna
there's
start?
5 Jokers in my lifetime.
Let's just start with that. Why do we
now
need a
6.
sixth? Why do we need a
now,
sixth?
Now 6 with this. No one is going to do it better than Heath Ledger. And let's say no one has out of the 4 that came after
out of the
him.
4 that came after him, let's be
And the
serious.
one guy had his own movie. He didn't even have to split with
and that didn't
Batman.
even- let's talk. Let's not digress. Let's say on Batman, but why would you have a Joker movie without
Without
Batman? Okay, that's not even a thing. You just made something up and
Yeah,
put
it's
the
called
Joker's
It.
name on it.
They already made
Yeah,
that.
it's called
They made 2
It.
of them.
They made 2 of them.
And it's the same people that love that movie. They're like, the Batman needs a Joker. What doesn't the Joker need a
No,
Batman?
the Joker needs a Batman.
Yeah, the Batman doesn't need a Joker.
You
As
can't have a
proven by
Joker.
this 3-hour movie that we just watched.
Yes.
Joker wasn't needed.
Yeah, I mean, Batman has his gigantical rogues gallery. Has
That's the fact.
50 years of
I don't think there's a better
material
rogues
to
gallery
draw
out
from.
there.
There's not. Spider-Man might be a distant second.
Yeah.
Might be.
And like
Distant
we
second.
said, Superman, we could see
Superman, what do you got? Lex Luthor. Name another
Bizarro
Superman.
and General Zod. Okay, so obviously at some
General
point,
Zod was made up. Superman too. I mean, yeah. Name
he's
another.
he's not even a real guy. He was made for that movie.
I think he was made up for that movie. I mean, he might have been a bit guy. I don't even know.
So he has
somebody
2,
Maybe
and
somebody
one of
could
them is
write
the
that in the
opposite,
comments.
and one of them is just the
Again,
opposite.
the computer guy. Yeah, Mr. Mixelplick or the opposite? What are you talking about?
The Bizarro guy is just
okay,
the opposite.
But that's a comic book. You're never. That's almost like a joke guy.
You know what I'm saying?
What can we do this month? Oh no, let's have opposite Superman. Okay, let's do that.
That's what I'm saying. You could have had, and okay, you theoretically can make a whole trilogy of Batman movies without using a Batman
Not even
villain
come
that's
close.
been seen.
That's been seen in all the Batmans put together. You can go without Bane, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, Joker, Riddler,
Penguin. But see, you have 3 of those already. You have Penguin, Riddler, but...
So here's my problem too, also with this. You put him in there, he's in a Riddler gets caught, he's in the Arkham Asylum, and in the cell next to him, with a thing where they can talk to each other. That's
Doesn't even
convenient.
make sense.
Doesn't even make sense. Is the Joker. But let's talk about that for a second. Apparently, the Joker already exists in this universe
and has not been caught.
And has been caught.
By not the Batman.
By not Batman.
And Batman doesn't even know he exists. So really, he's not Batman's greatest villain. He can't be. The Riddler. I mean, how does this work? How does he get out of there, and how does Batman face him?
Well, you've shoehorned yourself in now. Joker, if he's going to appear in this other movie, to me, the tone and everything else is not going to be like this one, because you're going to have this big escape scene from Arkham Asylum.
But the problem is, Batman doesn't know Joker exists.
Yeah,
he would just go after Riddler.
Right.
And it would just be...
what? There's some other scrub in there? Because Joker has been caught and put in Arkham Asylum by somebody besides Batman.
So that's the
So
thing.
he doesn't have a grudge against Batman.
Yeah, there's no feud between them. You know why Heath Ledger's Joker works so well? It's because he was the opposite to that Batman.
As Joker is.
It should be. And not only that...
The yin to the yang.
The yin to the yang.
The peanut butter to the jelly.
No, that's not...
No,
I think we're
go together. Never mind.
In a way, they do go together. But not in... They can't go now. They can't go now.
But also... Batman was there's another thing I liked. They had Batman commentating, and they showed that he had a diary, and
journal,
a journal that was obsessively written in, which I thought was cool. And he narrated, and at the end he was narrating that he didn't think he realized he was making a change in Gotham, but it wasn't the change he wanted, which is the age-old question. He's bringing the villains out of the woodwork because of the example he's setting. So we already have Joker in prison. And he has not been turned into Joker, or he's not a product of Batman and the character and what he's doing.
Joker already.
He's
got that. He's got like something.
Right.
There's something wrong with his face. It doesn't.
So you're taking the whole Joker Batman relationship mythos and you're throwing it out the window. And Joker's just some random guy that's already been caught for jaywalking or something, and he's in Arkham Asylum.
Because really, you set it up. Thinking about it now, you did set it up with what you're saying at the end, where he's like, "Yeah, I created these people." That's a perfect setup for the Joker, because then he goes. Then the whole next movie is him. You created me,
right?
Which is what's done in The Dark Knight.
Yes, but you can't do that now because Joker's already a nutball and he's already in prison and hasn't been. And here's another dynamic that you screwed up on: the way they're talking.
It sounds like Joker's going to work for Riddler.
Joker's going to end up working for Riddler.
Not. Yeah, you gotta cut.
All right, so I saw this picture in a magazine where he had that eye black, and I kind of thought, that's kind of...
I bought into it right away.
Kind of emo-ish, which I don't like my Batman to be emo.
But he is emo. It's Batman. What I feel like...
But I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
When I saw it in the movie, and he's in the Batcave, and he's
got all
obviously worn out.
His hair's everywhere. I like that.
Yeah, his hair was always everywhere. What were you going to say next?
Well, and they never did that before.
No.
In all the scenes he takes off his mask, it's just...
See, and that's what I was going to say. I think you think that I think you don't even take that into account. I think
that would be on him.
Right, I think...
It's just part of the mask.
It's part of the mask, or you just discount it as, well, it's my suspension of disbelief. They do that for the movie. It's not... He doesn't have it on him in real life. But that is another thing. I have to say I was going to be skeptical of Robert Pattinson as Batman, but
hit it out of the park.
He gives Christian Bale a run for his money. Batman though is just, the whole is better.
Yeah, Batman as a whole, it's just done. I feel like it's just done better because it's the tone of the movie that he benefits from. You know what I'm saying? It's that detective thing and all of that, but it's just like, I mean, how he talks as well.
Yeah,
he's very monotone. He's very serious. It's just short. This is what it is.
But it's not very loud. Like he's not
yelling.
When he's talking to Commissioner Gordon and stuff, he's almost less than you would be talking to somebody. I think
it is less.
Yeah, he's being understated. when he's telling them things and this and that.
Yeah.
Which is total departure, which probably was a good thing because you don't want to try and duplicate Christian
Batman
Bale's
voice.
voice.
Yeah, I feel like.
And his as Bruce Wayne, the few, I don't want to say few, but it wasn't a lot, but you do get a taste for him as Bruce Wayne, and I thought...
He hasn't mastered it yet.
In the movie or as an actor?
In the movie.
Right. He doesn't even care about being Bruce Wayne. But I think at the end there was a point where I think he realized I have to keep being Bruce Wayne because
that's what the city.
I'm not taking care of the money. I'm not doing the things that Bruce Wayne could do to help the city.
Yeah.
There was some point, I forget what, there was some dialogue or something that I think kind of where he kind of realized that. So I think in the next one he'll be more active as Bruce Wayne just to be able to do the things to help as Bruce Wayne. Another thing that I almost didn't like, but they fixed it right there in the movie, was Thomas Wayne being kind of a shady or
being
whatever.
grimy.
But the cool thing was the mom apparently had mental issues.
I know, I like that.
So,
I like where that...
So it's like...
And I didn't... How she was, her maiden name or whatever is Arkham.
Yeah. So yeah, these two guys, Wayne and Arkham, kind of built the town, built the city. But Martha Wayne...
was a psycho.
So, I think that makes... They're saying Bruce Wayne is, got that... psycho
and I think
edge
it's
to
shown.
It. Oh, yeah, I think it's definitely shown too.
And I feel like, I like that.
It was a cool spin.
When because he is a little...
He's a little whack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's off kilter.
Like when he's just driving the Batmobile, he starts yelling. You know what I'm saying? Just starts growling and yelling and letting it out, even though it's like...
You know what? That was a cool scene too, the car chase.
Yeah.
That was a really cool car chase.
Yeah, I mean, and just how it started up and everything, and everybody looked at it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was like in the alley, and all you saw was the headlights and the
engine for some reason on fire. That front part, I don't even know what was going on. And then all of a sudden, the back part, there's a flamethrower on the back. It starts going off.
And there's a couple things at the end. There's all these guys up above a stadium, up above the scoreboard in the rafters.
The Fight Club part where they...
because
they buy into the Riddler and what he's doing because they give him a motive that's kind of like... It's believable that people would believe in him.
He had 500 followers.
Yeah, he had 500
More
followers.
than this podcast.
So good on him.
Yeah,
but
good on him.
He's taking out the corrupt elite people of Gotham, and so obviously I feel like it's believable that people would buy into that.
And while he's doing his last podcast or whatever, he's commenting to the people.
He's like, hey guys.
Funny, yeah. But on the side too, you see the comments from people.
Yeah.
I don't know if you read any of them.
Oh, it's a winter mask. You get it at the Gotham.
Yeah, they're talking about where to get the surplus and ammo's good. What kind of get some 12 gauge. So yeah, it's like Fight Club in that these guys all kind of follow him along. So even though he's in jail, he has imparted the last part of his plan to them, and they're up in the rafters and they're going to shoot these people down. But that reminded me of The Dark Knight, where they had the police tied with their guns, and Batman was just going through, getting them all and throwing them off the edge, tied up.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. But it was different enough that it was different.
The combat when Batman's fighting is a lot better too. I think that's what sells it. You know what I'm saying? In The Dark Knight, I feel like it's almost too grounded. You know what I'm saying? Because The Dark Knight, he's kind of slow and you don't really feel it. But in this one, he's, I also like the first time he shows up to Penguin's Club, the iceberg. Well, it's not Penguin's Club, but the iceberg is usually his. He's Batman.
For some reason, I didn't.
I'm here.
Yeah, he's like, do you know who I am?
and the guys close the door. They're like, yeah, we know. And then they come in and check, and he has to beat them down.
Yeah. And
I like that. I feel like, because I like how he didn't just have to appear in there. He's knocked on the door. He's like, hey, I'm here to see the Penguin. And even that conversation with the Penguin, I don't know. I feel like it just adds a lot to the.
See, that could have just been a cop movie right there.
Yeah.
And there was nothing
not going after the Penguin simply because he's the Penguin. He's just actually questioning him.
Right. But I mean, that could have been
anyone.
Bruce Willis or whatever. It didn't have to be
Batman.
Right. It was a good movie and they put Batman in it, which is what we always said with a lot of different movies. Why don't you just make a good movie and then put that
Batman,
character in there? Yeah, Batman or whatever. So, what about Alfred? I don't know if he was.
That was not better than the Dark Knight trilogy.
I like Michael Caine better.
Yeah.
The only cool thing about this guy, and I would, if we had our guy here, you could tell me what movies that guy's been in because I recognize him from some movies.
He's mocap guy. He wears little things. He played Gollum in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's
He's
that
playing
guy?
the
Oh,
Apes guy.
yeah, it is that guy. What's that guy's name?
Andy Serkis. He was in Black Panther.
Yeah.
He's in a couple.
Oh, yeah, that's where I know him from, Black Panther.
But he's in. Usually he just does that kind
The
of
motion capture guys.
Yeah.
But
I think
he was
he
an
might have been
actor.
King Kong.
He was the guy that
got his arm
hand
cut off. Yeah, from Age of Ultron. But yeah, he did the
It's cool that he had an English accent, a real English accent. I don't know if it's
really
real.
is.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So it was legit. It was legit.
But
yeah, Michael Caine definitely was better. I think there.
He's just not like old and brittle enough, to be Alfred.
Yeah, and he didn't have a lot to do.
I did like how he didn't like that he was Batman, but at the same time he was just helping him out.
Yeah, he didn't like the idea.
But I also liked, which is a change of direction, that Bruce Wayne didn't necessarily, or Batman, whatever you want to say, didn't really accept him. You know what I'm saying?
Except Alfred.
Yeah, he was like, "You're not my father. Stop trying to be." And then even
but then
he
at
gives
the
him
end,
cufflinks.
Yeah,
like,
so there was a
"Oh,
couple
yeah."
points in there where they kind of, and then Alfred gets blown up, and he ends up in the hospital.
See, I feel like he would be dead too. You know what I'm
Well, he threw it away. He realized at the last second, threw and ducked. So I think I give him a little more than Batman. That thing blew off. Unless the charge wasn't that big, because they had it around the guy's neck, so it might have just been enough to blow off the guy's head.
Yeah.
Which, come on, in a Batman movie, that was in a Batman movie.
Yeah.
The bomb around the guy's neck.
The rat thing. I don't even think the bomb around the thing, but the one where the rat eats his face off.
You didn't really see that, though.
But just
I don't
the
think
fact
you
that
gotta,
they were like,
Yeah, they got this saw get up where these rats are going to eat this guy's face off. How'd the first... Oh, he just flat out killed the first guy. But that was... Like I say, that right off the bat, that's the first 5 minutes, and I was like, ooh.
And then it's followed by Batman beating down a bunch of...
thugs.
Yeah, and that's like a brutal beatdown, too. I did like how much he got hit, though.
Yeah, he does get... He takes his licks, even by them punks.
And to be... they like...
And going through the... See, I wonder if it's just you can't get away from it. Some scenes are going to be similar. Like when he's going through the Iceberg Club or whatever, that was very similar to The Dark Knight again, where he goes through there and beats those guys.
Yeah, and gets
to Falcone or whatever.
Well, yeah.
And I almost thought when they showed the Penguin, they were going to have him upside down like they did Falcone, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then they left him out there, though. That was the only part where... Because they had his feet tied and hand tied. So he's like going...
Like a penguin.
Yeah. He's kind of...
And that was another like...
That was just a shout out, sort of.
I guess that was like another... He's like, it matched the Riddler scene at the end where he's like, "Hey guys, thank you for the support." Like just how the penguin was reacting. He's like, "You guys don't know Spanish, you idiots." Or like yelling at them.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. It was good. So overall, on a scale of 1 to 10... I know when you usually leave a movie, you're going to rate it.
Yeah, 10. I said The Last Jedi was good when we left it. So.
No, we definitely did not.
I did. I thought it was...
The Last Jedi?
Yes. I was like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Oh, come on.
I didn't say it was good. I said it wasn't that bad.
Well,
but
compared to whatever the one before it was, I guess, yeah, because that was steaming garbage.
The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi is the one that was...
No, the middle one was absolutely...
Yes, that's The Last Jedi.
Oh, okay. You said that was good?
I said no. I didn't say it was good. I said it wasn't that bad.
That was the worst. That quite possibly was the most ridiculous, stupidest movie. That's one. What were those guys thinking? How? Like I could imagine one guy comes up with a dumb idea, but there's like 40 people working on this,
and the others backed him up. They all backed him up.
They all said, "Oh, that's good. Let's have Princess Leia fly out in space."
I don't even make
Never
sense.
mind. She would be dead at that point. Never mind, she'd be dead from the explosion that blew her out into space. But apparently now the Force you can be knocked unconscious in space, not breathing, dead from being in space, and the Force can activate in your brain to drag you back into a ship, which, by the way, still has a giant hole in it that's sucking you back into. You're still in outer space. Dumb. That's not even the worst of it. I don't want to digress into a whole nother thing. All right. So anyway, scale of 1 to 10. What would you rate The Dark Knight?
That's what I'm thinking. Because really,
it is better than
it is better than The Dark Knight.
It's better than the
Batman
Dark Knight
movie.
Best Batman movie since Adam West in The Shark Repellent.
And the Riddler is right up there with Heath Ledger's Joker.
The Riddler is, believe it or not, right up there with Heath Ledger's Joker.
I can't believe I said that.
In two respects, in the fact that he was a scary character, but then at the end, when not the very end, in the jail cell with the Joker, that was just gratuitous and stupid, and that's like a Rocky V moment. We just cut the movie, or Rocky IV, before he starts having that speech. You stop the movie and never watch it again. It just doesn't exist in this universe anymore. But where he's in the insane asylum talking to Batman.
Yes, that is, yeah, I mean, I don't know. What would you give to Dark Knight? Because I originally, for going this movie, I would have given The Dark Knight 10 out of 10.
So that's why I don't think you can give it a 10 out of 10. Because you always got to have, it's good. Because then these movies are tied. But
in reality, they're not.
But
that's what I'm saying. The Dark Knight, A Few Good Men, Empire Strikes Back, all 10 out of 10.
All 10s out of 10s. That's why I say we have this argument. They're different movies. You can't compare them. You can't compare apples to apples.
But let's say,
I guess I would give this except
it's better. It's the best Batman movie. That's just that simple.
It's that simple.
So what would you rate The Dark Knight? This is at least a 0.1 better, depending on where you rate The Dark Knight.
I would say a full point, not a 0.1. I would say a point.
I'm saying at the very least it has to be 0.1 because it's better.
Yeah.
Now, how many you choose to give points wise, how lenient you are, that's up to you. But
it's not like The Dark Knight was a 7.
No, not at all. That's what I'm saying. The Dark Knight is a 10 out. Let's admit it. It's a 10 out of 10 movie. You could argue that
solid.
The Dark Knight is a better movie than this movie, but not a better Batman movie.
I don't know, man.
You think this is a better movie overall?
I think
because I do too. Because this is, it's Batman at its finest hour. Not much beats that.
Yeah.
Because
it was the perfect mix of dark cop thriller like Zodiac or Seven.
Essentially.
But you had Batman in there.
That's Batman at its finest hour, yes.
Fighting and doing different things.
The world's greatest detective is finally
being depicted correctly on film.
And that's why I forgot to say at the beginning when that guy's thumb gets cut off. And Batman just looks, they're like, oh, his thumb got cut off. And Batman looks and he goes, wow, he's still alive based on I don't even know what he said.
He said medical term.
And I bought it because
so Batman knows what he's talking about.
The confidence in how he said it in the word. I'm not going to not believe him.
But then the clues were so, like, Adam West Batman and Jim Carrey, or Adam West Riddler.
In a world like this.
No, they would not survive. But Jim Carrey riddles, they were so stupid. It's like, oh.
They were more like, why did the chicken cross the road?
Yeah, it's just stupid. But this one, they had ciphers and different things, and they were coming at it the wrong way, but then Batman would kind of swing back around and go, oh, catch on to what was really going on in a different direction, like URL. They had some Spanish thing, but
yeah, it was a
URL
website,
which because they were looking at it all wrong.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of them like that, so it was cool that way.
Yeah, and what were you saying? What are those things called? The little hieroglyphics? The hieroglyphics? That's Zodiac. That's what that guy actually did.
Cipher. Yeah, Cipher.
That's what he actually did.
That's what he actually did.
And his costume is that, just green.
Yeah.
With a question mark.
Dark green.
Very.
He doesn't have a question mark on him, though.
Yeah, he does, right here.
Does he?
Yeah. It's like, how do you miss this stuff?
I seen it on the wall. I seen it on his backdrop like this. I see it on his outfit.
He has it right here. All of his little Riddler lights had it, I think.
His Riddler lights?
His Riddler lights. Riddler lights.
Oh, the little Riddler
righteous followers, yeah.
I don't know if they did. Yeah, it was good. Oh, and then the thing where there's a kid, the mayor's kid got killed, or the mayor got killed, and he had a boy.
Yeah, and they kind of relate.
Yeah, throughout
but they don't
the movie.
ever say it. But Batman's looking at him. He's like, oh,
right.
And
the cool eye things too. Batman's eye cameras.
Oh, yes.
Which I was wondering because he's looking at everything, and I was like, he either has to have a photographic because he's not writing anything down, or you think he might take out something and take some shots of these different ciphers. So I was kind of thinking he's got to have something in his.
Yeah.
Like it didn't
his mom.
Dark Knight.
His mom's side of.
Didn't Dark Knight have things in the photograph?
That wasn't like photograph. He was like saw through walls or something.
That was just a component for that movie for Dark Knight.
To find the Joker based on hearing or something.
All right, so overall, best Batman movie here, because we have to incorporate Sodapops into this, our sponsors.
I want the Batman one.
We have 1989. He wants a Batman wrapper. 2 different wrappers. You can purchase these at Sodapops right now as a gift or for yourself in your personal collection. You get the Batman one. All right, so we're going to open these up and see what we get here. This is how stuff used to be back in the day, and it does come with a piece of, sweet. 1989. Oh, you got a full stick. Mine broke in half. Look at that.
It's nice.
Are we eating these? Take a half. Take a half.
Yeah, maybe you already have it. Do you plan on eating the whole thing?
I wasn't going to shove both of these in my mouth.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. You can have a half. All right, right?
Oh, that's crunchy.
That's crunchy. It's kind of like a piece of a sweet tart or something. There's no gum aspect to it.
No. I kind of like it though.
It's kind of like a Smartie.
It tastes exactly how this smells.
It's gone. There was no gum aspect to it. It turned into sawdust.
This tastes like 1989.
If you want to taste 1989.
You want a throwback? Go get yourself one of these packs down at Sodapops.
A little chalky.
It's like a wafer.
It's like a wafer. It's like a wafer. It's gone. No gum to it at all. No gum. All right, so I got this cool Joker here. Joker sticker. This is the sticker that comes one in every pack.
I got the Batwing.
You know, the vehicles in this one very grounded and down to earth.
I liked it. I like the Batmobile. That's my favorite Batmobile. The Tumbler, you don't think that was the best Batmobile? Okay, the Tumbler, there's a reason it's called the Tumbler, not the Batmobile, because it's not. I mean, it's a tank. That was my one gripe. I did like the Batpod, though, which was his motorcycle in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh, see, I thought that was kind of hokey.
No, see, I like that.
He has a motorcycle. He rides a lot in this one. And that's the other thing. He will go back and forth between just street clothes when it suits him to follow or something.
But he always wears his costume on because I was so confused why he was so much.
Yeah,
why he was so bulky, and then I realized he's just doing that for fun.
All right, see, here's where this first movie was stupid. You got these Chotsky guys playing music. Look. In retrospect, this was cool at the time. But in retrospect, look at that Joker. Come on.
I got City Hall Massacre.
City Hall. Oh, here's iconic.
Oh.
That's an iconic shot there from the movie.
I got just regular Batman. They should make Batman cards now for this movie.
I'm surprised they don't.
They probably do. We should have checked. I'm sure they have them at like Target or something.
Got to.
And we could open them up after this, compared little screenshots.
Oh, that would have been good. Yeah, maybe next year. Maybe Batman 2.
Maybe Batman 2.
What would they call that one? See, this says collect all 132 cards. Boy, they got greedy. Here's Alpha for you.
We're 18 in. Out of our 132.
Oh, okay. We're 18 in. Gotta go buy some more. Vicky Vale, she was cute.
At the time.
At the time.
She could turn out like Val Kilmer.
She might look like Val Kilmer right now.
You never know. You never know.
Poor guy. Even worse, she'd be poor her. Bad enough for him.
Batwing. Did he fly the Batplane in this one?
Yeah, and remember,
Joker.
No, just at the end, Joker pulled out that giant pistol gun in the middle of the street. See, I didn't like the city in that one either. Everybody always thought it was cool. But
the city in this one,
I like the city better in this one than any of the other ones.
I feel like
it seemed more.
It very was Gotham, I think it's because always dark, but it also just like the aesthetic, It had a very like church.
You get the idea that it's gigantic,
huge, but it's like grimy.
Yeah, it's like grimy.
But you know what I'm saying? Like the aesthetic of it, they all look like church buildings, like Gothic era. and I like that. I like that.
I wonder if that was CGI, like the cities, like
there's no way.
That would be
They drove
easy
the
thing.
Batman.
No,
they
I
drove
mean
the
city.
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying you really think they're going to CGI that?
Why not? It'd be easy. There's no way you would tell that was fake. Nothing's like
would.
moving.
Think past me.
What about the Batcave? This says view from the Batcave.
What was it? It's like a train terminal.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. He went through. That was like Adam West. Like there was a big giant tunnel. He had to go down and around. And eventually it came, like there was a train term. It looked like it was Wayne.
It was a Wayne terminal.
Must have come right to their house or something back in the
I think
day.
it did because Alfred dropped down in that elevator.
But it was cool because it looked like just a junky garage full of stuff.
Yeah, you could tell he was working on the Batmobile the whole time.
Yeah, because it was under a tarp and everything. Oh, there's the Batplane. That looks like that was touched up in Photoshop because that's not what it looked like. It was not stainless steel.
One thing I feel like, as we're talking about the vibe in this movie.
Stupid.
Batman could have had a blue cowl in this one, and I feel like it would have worked. A blue cowl like this.
Dark blue? This was black, man.
No, I'm playing this guy. Like blue,
this guy.
but not that. Obviously not that
Yeah.
blue, but dark blue. And then I feel like that opens up the door. You have him in a blue cowl. Catwoman could be in purple. That's something you've never
Dark
seen
purple.
before.
I'll tell you.
Dude, obviously not neon purple. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. You don't need to clarify. Oh, yeah, let's have her run around in the neon purple suit.
Idiot. I just want to say something about purple suits with
And the glowing dark blue.
Batgirl in the Adam West series had purple suit, and that was pretty cute for a 5-year-old boy.
But that's not. But Catwoman's suit in this one was. I mean,
It was just kind of probably something she picked up online at Amazon or something.
Craigslist.
And then some sort of, I don't know what the cloth hat was. It's like she.
But I like that better than Anne Hathaway's. Again, Anne Hathaway was just like glasses, and then like they flipped up. But for some reason, they.
Well, she was like a burglar. Like it probably had some function.
I did. Catwoman's burglary scene, the scene where she robs the people. That was sweet. She had like all those tools she let out, and it showed that she can crack a safe.
Yeah.
And the Batman's just there waiting.
Oh, that's something I really like too. They always try and match Batman and Catwoman up equally, like, oh, they're toe to toe. But Catwoman started trying to get after Batman, trying to fight him, and he was having none of it. She didn't even land a punch. He's just like.
And then he completely like overpowered her too. He like had her pinned down, and then just was like, okay, come on,
I'm quit screwing around here. You're not getting away with any of this. So that was realistic to me. All right, so there you go. That's that show. And what do you say? Like, subscribe,
follow,
comment. Go ahead.
Hit the bell for notifications.
Do that.
What am I supposed to say? Just
that stuff.
Subscribe, comment, hit the bell for notifications. Go watch this movie.
Go watch this movie. Let us know what you think.
And then tell us what else you want from us. You want us to review another movie? We can do that.
We can review 80s movies.
We can review The Last Jedi.
We could do that.
That'd be a long one.
A
long, strenuous one.
That would be strenuous. It'd get my blood pressure up at the stupidity. Although, I'm hoping, like you say with The Mandalorian, it almost seems like they're retconning.
They are.
The fact that those movies didn't happen.
Existed.
We might have to get
It's a whole scheme. It's a government scheme they're on.
Well, thank God it's one thing the government has done. Finally, are doing, number one, doing something important. Number one, doing something good.
Doing something for the people.
Doing something for the people.
Or themselves.
So maybe we'll get Jim Lamb and Brian Runkle on for that one because they're Star Wars aficionados. I haven't even. I
mean, you have to watch that.
I have trouble watching series TV. Plus,
just watch it's The Mandalorian. You're not going to struggle with it.
What's the word? I'm giving up on Star Wars. I'm disenfranchised with that franchise.
But that's why you have to watch it. It brought it back, baby.
I can't, man.
I
watched that episode. Here's another thing.
This might be a different episode of the show.
He made me watch the last of the Mandalorian. Was it where Luke Skywalker comes barging through there,
chops him down?
That was awesome. It was awesome.
What happened to him?
But what happened? Yeah, why you can't take that and do that? It's like on Rogue One. Awesome that they made that lead right up to the original Star Wars on the ship.
And Darth Vader.
But Darth Vader wipes out everybody on that ship using the Force. But then we don't ever see that again for the next 3 movies. You can't do that. It's cool to see Darth Vader whipping some butt because you never see him whip any butt in the umpteen movies that he's in. He's one of the worst Jedi you've ever seen. He can't beat anybody. He gets beat by everybody. Only reason he beat Obi-Wan when he was 90 years old because Obi-Wan just said, well, screw this. I'm just going to give up. So that way I'll be a Force ghost and be more powerful anyway. So what the heck? He ain't beat anybody except some little kids, some little kids. And all of a sudden you're going to retcon in there that he's a BA and wipes out the whole thing. That's my problem with those.
Well, he's going to refight Obi-Wan in this Obi-Wan Kenobi series. What do you think about
See,
that?
how can Darth Vader? The guy got demolished by Obi-Wan. He turned him into a vegetable. No arm. Why would you reconstruct that guy? What would be the purpose of reconstructing him? He got his arms and legs chopped off. His natural arms and legs, he couldn't beat anybody. Let's put robot arms and legs on this guy. Oh, he was so worthwhile. Let's rebuild him. Why?
Not only that.
And not only that,
Why would he go after Obi-Wan?
Why would he or wouldn't he?
After he got...
Yeah, I think he would have post-traumatic stress disorder and not want no part of that.
We'll find out.
We'll find out in the next Sodapops episode. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good night.